There is a better than even chance the home you are sitting in right now was certified electrically safe by a man who spent 90 seconds in your basement with a $10 tester. And there is a wire hidden behind your walls, one you were told never to worry about, that can make that tester read perfectly safe while it waits to put 120 volts onto something you touch every day. Today I will show you why electricians refuse to trust the ground wire in a new home, where it fails, who signed off anyway, and the one rule that tells you whether yours is real or just 50 cents of theater. Let us talk about the green wire, the third prong. Everybody knows it is the safety one, and almost nobody can tell you what it does. Here is what took me years to understand. The wire does nothing at all, ever, until the worst day of your home's life. The instant a hot wire touches metal, it should not. On that day, the ground gives the fault somewhere to rush, hard and fast enough to trip the breaker before you become the path instead. That is its entire job. It sits dead for 30 years, waiting for 1 millisecond. The first time I watched an inspector verify grounding on a finished house, I expected instruments. He plugged in a little 3-light cube tester, watched it glow, and signed the form. That was it. The thing everyone trusts most is the thing nobody ever measures, because grounded on that form means a ground wire was present the day they looked. It does not mean that wire works. Those are two different houses, and the gap is exactly where people get hurt. Start with the part everyone thinks they understand. Outside your house is a copper rod driven into the dirt, and most people believe that rod saves them from a shock. It doesn't. That rod handles lightning and surges, and it has almost nothing to do with stopping your dishwasher from electrocuting you. Code says a grounding electrode has to measure 25 ohms to earth or less, and if it doesn't, you drive a second rod. But almost no residential crew owns the tester that measures it, so they don't. They drive one rod or two, call it good enough, and the code lets them because once a second rod is in, it never asks for a number again. Your home's connection to the earth is often a guess nobody checked. When a surge comes, it travels into your panel and electronics instead. $2,000 to $5,000 to replace. But a bad rod is the least of your problems. The real danger is the wire coming back to your panel. Here's the rule that holds the whole system together. Your ground wire is supposed to be a clean lane that carries zero current until the millisecond of a fault. The neutral carries the working current, and the ground carries nothing, so it stands empty and ready. Those two touch in exactly one place, the main panel, nowhere else, ever. But your home almost certainly has a sub-panel in the garage or basement, and inside it sits a little green bonding screw that must be removed to keep the ground clean. Pulling the screw takes 4 seconds, leaving it in takes 0. And the electrical sub is paid by the house, not the hour, so it gets left in constantly in homes that sailed through inspection. The instant that screw stays, everyday return current flows through your ground and onto every piece of metal it touches, your panel cover, your ductwork. I've stood in front of panels where the bare ground bar was warm to the touch. Rebonding it correctly costs $1,500 to $4,000. But the most dangerous version isn't a mistake at all. Now the wire itself, because a ground is only as good as where it's fastened. There are 2 ways to attach a wire to an outlet. Wrap it around a screw and torque it tight, 30 seconds, or shove the stripped end into a hole in the back where a thin spring clip grabs it, speed wiring. Because on 60 or 70 devices, those saved seconds become labor dollars. The catch is the spring. Spring steel relaxes. The grip loosens, resistance climbs, and a loose connection carrying current heats up, then arcs behind your drywall, where you cannot see it. This is not fringe theory. Electrical failures drive an estimated $1.4 billion in home fire damage every year in the US. The cruelest detail is the timing. These hold just long enough to outlast the warranty, then fail in the 3rd, 5th, or 8th year. And here's why no electrician trusts that 3-light tester. It can only catch one fault at a time, and it cannot tell whether your ground is real or a lie. When a circuit has no ground wire at all, common in renovations, someone runs a 50-cent jumper from the ground terminal straight to the neutral. That's a bootleg ground. Plug the tester in, all 3 lights glow green, the form gets signed, and if that neutral ever opens, the entire metal body of your toaster, your fridge, your washing machine becomes energized to 120 volts, waiting for your hand. Riddle a house with these, and you're looking at $8,000 to $15,000 to rewire it right. So who's responsible? Volume builders aren't craftsmen, they're logistics operations. And the electrical sub is a line on a schedule, racing the framers. Speed isn't a flaw in that system. Speed is the system. You assume someone with authority stands between you and that race. But municipal inspection is fast, visual, and often comes down to the same $10 tester you could buy yourself. It confirms a wire is present. It cannot confirm that the wire will perform under a fault. An inspection proves your home passed. It does not prove your home is safe. So what can you actually do? 3 things. If you are building new, hire your own electrician for a pre-cover inspection before the drywall closes. Expect $200 to $400 to photograph an open panel. 2. Older homes from the copper Romex era were wired by tradespeople whose names were on the work. And number 1, it sounds backward until you think about it. The best grounded house on the street is not the newest. It is the older home wired in metal conduit because the pipe itself is the ground, a continuous, bonded path that cannot be backstabbed or bootlegged. And whatever you buy, spend $30 on a plug-in ground impedance tester, not the 3-light cube, or pay an electrician $150 to test your circuits for real. It is the only way to know. So here is the line to walk away with. A passing inspection proves your ground was present the day they looked. It does not prove it will work the day you need it. The builder's incentive is to close the sale. Yours is to survive the fault. Those incentives have never aligned. And next, we are going inside the walls of millions of homes wired in the late 60s and 70s, where a specific metal hiding behind your outlets starts more fires than almost anything else in this series. Subscribe so you do not miss it. Go check your outlets tonight.